Hi and welcome back to the FreeFormKnits YouTube channel. I'm Haxann Evers, a knit and crochet who's favorite ways of craft outfits to the world of design. All the places you can find me will listed right down below this video. This is my channel where I talk about knitting, crochet, designs, all that fun stuff. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of those future videos. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. We are Tuesday, July 12th, I think. I never know the dates. That's not surprising at this point. I'm coming to you from my home in Pennsylvania, where I live with my family, where I have the window open because there's an air conditioner in it, and there are noises outside because there's always noises outside, so I hope it's not too distracting. I do my best to edit out all the noises, outside noises, background noises, dogs barking, all that stuff. I do my best, but a lot of people in a small place, so yeah, noises, life, you know. I don't have a lot to show with you this week. I have one huge finished object and a lot of progress on other projects, so we're going to jump right into it. I am wearing with the same thing I was wearing last episode, I believe, my Sweet Summer Tea by Evelyn and Peter Crochet. I think that's right. I'm really enjoying this tea. It's super lightweight. I just have like a camisole under it, so yeah, it's really great. And I did think about wearing a different one of my other handmade tees, but this one was just laying there, and it's so very light. I don't find, like, it's not good to, like, how do I explain this? Like, just walking around in it is really fine. Like, it's super light. The yarn is acrylic. I do find, like, if I'm like doing stuff out in the sun, like yard work or anything, it's not a good tee for that for obvious reasons. The acrylic does, like, it's warmer, but then and not as breathable as a different fabric would be, but it's very comfortable, so I really am enjoying it. And I think that's everything to talk about for the introduction. Yeah, boy, it's been a long day today. I've just been doing some schoolwork, so my brain is not here. I don't know, it's hard to explain. Anyway, moving on into finished objects. I really don't know what they're doing outside. I just hear stuff. It's really weird. So I guess somewhere someone's doing yard work. Our internet is down at the moment, so maybe they're fixing that. That would be nice. But the biggest finished object, I'm so happy about it. I would put it on, but it's really warm up here. I can't have the air on while I'm filming, otherwise you will not be able to hear me. Even worse than the trucks that are outside. But I finished my corner to corner crochet cardigan. Corner to corner coat. The ends are woven in. I haven't snipped this one, and there's just one from my border, so I will not put this on because, like I said, it's super hot, but you will see me wearing it eventually. I am so happy with this. I'm so proud of it. Like, I've been experimenting with the drop shoulder construction. It's something that I knew would fit my body type really well, but it's just not as, like, I don't trust it while I'm making it, or I didn't trust it while I'm making it. Now I have like my measurements and everything, and I just love it so much, and I'm so happy that I achieved that effect with this. So this is using the corner to corner crochet method that is commonly used in blankets, but it's in a cardigan, and it's like wearing a blanket. It is so big and cozy. You could really have it. It's so thick. I used a 6mm hook, but you could, you know, you could play around with the gauge, but even 6mm hook is kind of looser for me with worsted weight yarn, but the stitch pattern just makes a nice dense fabric, but it's still like light. Like, I could totally see this being a coat to wear in the cooler months. I'm so happy with the sleeve. I was in the middle of doing the sleeves last week, and I had some concerns about the length of them, because how you do the corner to corner method, like, you can't just knit it as long as, or crochet it as long as you would with like a regular sleeve. But I nailed my sleeve measurement. It is perfect, and I got the ribbing exactly how I wanted it. I had to go down to a 4.5, I think, for the ribbing. Was it? No, it was a 4.5, I'm pretty sure. And then for the edging, I just did 3 rounds of single crochet, just for the tiniest bit of an edge, little clean cut, and I had to sew it all together. It's so cool. I'm so happy with it. The yarn I used is I Love This yarn in the Orchid colorway, so just 100% acrylic. Yeah, It's just this big coat. I really don't want to put it on. It is so warm. Yeah, I'm just so happy with this. And you will see it eventually because I am certain to be wearing this so much in the cooler months. Like just with jeans and a t-shirt. It's just like perfect. I hate wearing coats, if I'm honest. I hate coats because I find them so bulky, but this is like a comfy. This is comfy, not bulky. So I do want to write this pattern. I would really love to write this pattern. I don't know when that will happen because like I said, I'm in the middle of a school semester. I gotta plan next semester, just a lot of life stuff things happening. So I don't know when I can commit to writing a sweater pattern. Not to mention that I would love to, with all my patterns, I really like to offer, you know, video tutorials for things just so that, you know, I know that if you have a problem with like the written instructions, especially in crochet, because I myself have problems with written instructions in crochet, that you have something to look at so that if you have a problem you can figure it out, if that makes any semblance of sense. So just a lot would have to go into this, like picking up, I want to do like a whole tutorial anyway on the corner to corner crochet method and like how to manipulate the shape to make rectangles instead of just squares, how to pick up stitches to get this border. So all that to say, there is a lot of work that we need to go into this before I would release it as a pattern. But when I do release it as a pattern, I will obviously need testers, specifically crochet testers. So if you are interested in one day in the future testing this coat pattern, be sure to sign up for my tester newsletter in the description box below. I have a newsletter specifically for testers. It's an email list. Whenever I need testers, you get an email. A majority of my, like I'm also a knitter, so I do have tests for knitting as well, but if you're just a crocheter, you can still sign up for that newsletter. And if you get an email of a test, signing up to the newsletter doesn't mean you have to agree to every test. It's just like when I have a need for testers, like you're the first person to know, and if you see a test you want to join in, you can follow the instructions in the email, join in on the test. If you don't, you just delete the email. Like signing up to the newsletter does not mean you have to agree to every test, and you will only get notifications about tests, nothing else, through that email list, the tester email list. So all that to say, if you eventually want to be on the radar to test this, be sure to sign up for that. It's in my description box. All you have to do is sign up, put your email address in, you're done. And every now and then you'll get an email about tests, some crochet, mostly knitting right now because this is a whole beast. But when I am in need of testers, that's like, those are the first people to know. So yes, did I mention I was rambly today? It's a day. It's been a day. But this is a finished object and it's so pretty and I'm so happy with it. And though I love the warmer months of the year, I love summer activities more than anything else. I can't wait for the cool weather to be able to wear this all the time. It's perfect. So that's my only finished object, but I have so much progress on different projects. I have my big basket over here. That's where I keep all my stuff that I take to my various locations around the house. Okay, we'll just start with this one on top. This is my top-down circular yoke that I am making. I separated for the sleeves and just going on the body. This is done out of Yarn Bee, must be merino in the blush colorway. My increases, I used yarn overs and then just knit them to the back loop. That's one of my favorite ways for increases. I'm just doing straight knitting for about 10 inches before I pick my lace pattern. The problem with picking my lace pattern, and I knew this and yet forgot it and then remembered it when I separated the sleeves, a lot of lace patterns, like the ones I want to go for this that I have in mind, like kind of leafy motifs, they're done bottom up. This is top down. So I need to find a pattern that is either easily modified to be bottom up, or that I don't mind technically upside down, or find one that is already the right direction. So I have to look through my stitch dictionaries and pick that out. But I think I have like 4 inches left before I reach 10 inches, and then we'll do, I think, about an 8-inch panel of lace. So this has been fun, super fast. I'm doing it on a 7 needle, US 7 4.5. Pretty mosaic Knit Picks needles. That is that project in my forever bag. It's one of like the first handmade project bags I made. I just did like a knitted outside, and then my meager attempt at sewing a lining. I have been wanting to sew bags for days. I really want to sew new project bags for myself. I have fabric. I have, I think, everything I need to make them. It's more just I don't have like a good setup spot for my sewing stuff, so I really can't and shouldn't. This room is mine and my sister's. We share it. It's kind of crowded as it is, and there's just really no room for like a large surface to lay out all my sewing stuff. And I really I'm telling myself that like after school and things I will have like a sewing spree where I will sew project bags for myself, because I really can't do it right now. I don't like saying that I can do it. I could. It's just more that I know that if I set up all my stuff and like I can't get it all done within a certain time frame, I'll have my stuff laying around and it'll drive me crazy. So I need to just wait. But I really want new project bags, just like, and do different types of project bags. And yeah, that's kind of what's on my mind, because this one, this bag will no means be retired. I will always use this bag until it's even more frayed than it is. I think I just got some in my eye. That's lovely. But that's been on my mind. I really want to make more project bags. But anyway, that is project number 1. Project number 2, I actually did pick this up. This is my sock. I have a goal for myself. For some reason my sock knitting has been, it comes and it goes, and it was gone for a long time, but I had a goal this month to finish this pair of socks, and I also needed to get the tutorial for my toe-up shortcut heel pattern. So I filmed the tutorial. I have to edit the tutorial. I will soon be calling for testers for my vanilla toe-up shortcut toe-up heel shortcut heel. I apparently don't know the names of my own patterns. What else is new? But this vanilla sock, but it's done toe up, and it's got my shortcut heel, which is a heel pattern that requires no short rows. You can do it in stockinette or garter. Instructions are provided for both. There will be a full video tutorial as soon as I edit it and insert it into the pattern and testers get it. So yeah, that's all stuff that has to happen hopefully at the end of this week and into the next week. That's the goal. But here is that. So these have been done forever, but I had to write the pattern and to film the tutorial and knit the pattern, you know, to like check it before testers get a hold of it. And so I picked up this sock again. This is going to be a patterned sock coming after the vanilla sock pattern. There's the heel. This one was done for a while, and I was only at the toe. I did the toe, I had to knit the foot, do the tutorial for the heel, turn the heel, and now I'm onto the leg. So this should be done very soon. I used only, the yarn I'm using is Knit Picks Stroll in the Dogwood Heather colorway, and this is the same 50-gram skein. So I will probably have to break into the second skein just for the cuff, just because of how long I made the leg. I always, when I do like a pattern sock, I get 2 50-gram skeins, but I never use up all 100 grams for any sock, no matter how long I make the leg. So that was interesting. I know why I did that. I'll knit one sock using one skein, knit the other sock using the other skein, and combine the leftovers at the end of the 2 skeins. But I remember when I finished this sock, I wanted to cast on the next sock right away, so I didn't not cast it on. And I was too lazy to get up the next skein, so that's why I just used the same ball. So I think that's interesting. I love it when I turn my heel that I can put my little sock skein, tuck it in, and then just have the skein there and knit like that, so I don't have to keep pulling the yarn. But I really like this pattern. Very simple, very easy to get back into sock knitting type pattern. So that is, I worked on that, and I'm super happy that I did that. I'm super happy that that tutorial is ready to be edited and done, because I really want that out in the world for my sock patterns and for you to have sock patterns, and I love that I can interchange how I want to make my socks because it's so much fun. It's so much fun to have all the options, especially since like I love doing stitch designs that feature stitch patterns, you know, like a simple sock or a simple hat or a cowl, whatever it is that highlights a specific technique or stitch pattern. And so I love that I can do that with now cuff down and toe up socks with my same heel and just play around with that. It's so much fun and exciting, and I love that I'm making progress on that so that I can open that whole world. So that is work in progress number 2. Work in progress number 3 and 4. Let's do with number 3 because this is, I have to remember to grab the next skein of yarn. So this was another basic tee by Hooked on Homemade Happiness. I am hacking the pattern to have sleeves like my first one. It's the first iteration I did of my first basic tee. I love this pattern. It's such a great pattern, and I'm using the scraps my sister gave me. She had a bunch of scraps of yarn that she gave me because she was done with them. She didn't want to see them anymore, and I used a bunch of them. And then these ones were all just random little bits. I don't even know why. I didn't ask her. I didn't want to know honestly why she had so many little skeins of black yarn. Like she must have wound them off the big skein and then forgot and then wound off another skein. It's really weird. I don't know what she was thinking, but I put them all in a sweater, and this will be her Christmas gift. I did the yoke and I'm on the body. I want to do the body a little bit longer. I used up all her little skeins, so I need to break into one of my full skeins of black to do just a little bit more on the hem. And then I think I'm going to use one of these variegated black skeins. It's like a silk striping. I have 2 options here. And I was going to do just single crochet, but now I think I want to do like a long ribbing on the tinier hook. And then I'll do the same for the sleeves. That's what I'm leaning toward. So the sleeves will be all black, and then just the hems will have that little pop of color. And for some reason, this must have been like a different type of black yarn. It feels different than what I cast on with. And it's stiffer, and so I think I might have to do like 1 round of single crochet in this variegated for the collar, just so that it kind of lays a little bit better. I don't know, I'll have to decide. It's okay because my sister's a lot smaller than me, and I already I think I followed the pattern exactly for the neckline, but usually when I make patterns, I look for patterns or I hack necklines to be wider because I don't like short necklines or tight necklines. So even if I do that, I don't think she'll mind. So yep, I did do another hack. I don't do as many increase rounds as the pattern suggests. I play with the numbers because, again, I've made this pattern so many times, but I've hacked it because for my body shape, I don't have like a yoke. Really, I'm very boxy, so what's it called? The like drop shoulder construction, it really works well for my body type because I really just I have broad shoulders and very square up here. My arms are like Lego arms, you know, they're just kind of stuck there. I don't really have like a yoke shape that like circular yokes or raglans go for, so I always have to make modifications for my yoke depth and everything. So I did that for my sisters, even though she's not built the same way as me, but it'll still fit her very well because it's a circular yoke. So circular yokes, I stand by the opinion that circular yokes are for everybody, no matter your body type. A circular yoke will look good on you because it's just a circle, and it just drapes itself. So yeah, that's all there is to say about this project. I do wish that I had done the yoke a little bit longer because I think it would have been cooler to have this yoke be deeper. But anyway, it'll look fine once sleeves are on it and everything. So I need to get that next skein before I forget, because I probably will. And I'm using a H hook for that. I think it's called an H hook. It's a 5mm hook. My hooks don't have the letter with them, so I always just think of it in millimeters. But this is another project bag that I've had forever. This was my first attempt at a box bottom. I am much better at box bottoms now. It's so funny. It's if you sew, then you probably know how this mistake is made. It's just really funny to me every time I look at it. But it's good otherwise. It's got this like bag shape. It's like I can't, you know how project bags, you know, they're shorter down here, wider up here. I don't know. It's funny. But that's another work in progress. I say that at the end of every time I show something. It's probably annoying. I apologize. I try not to do it, but I do it anyway. And the last work in progress is in this bag, and it is my garter stitch shredder. Can't speak. This has been getting a lot of work when I have something to watch for school, like a lecture or anything. I just work on this because it's garter stitch, back and forth, back and forth. And this will be a pullover. I'm working on the back, and then once I get to the length I need my back to be, I'll do, is this gonna be the back of it? Actually, I think this will be the front, because then I'll do the neckline shaping. So this will be the front, and then I will do something with the neckline to get a nice shape, and then I'll knit the back, and then I'll go back and fix the neckline, and swap the sides. I hope that's right, otherwise this project is gonna end in disaster. But this is really fun. It's using my Knit Picks Mosaic Interchangeables. The Caspian is the color for the size 8, which is a 5mm. This is the same yarn that I'm using for my, something was dropped outside. This is the same yarn I'm using for my circular yoke. The Must Be Merino is just in the teal color, and I'm using a bigger needle size to get a different drape. It's really funny, both this and that other tee. It's not going to be a tee, it's going to be a sweater, but they're very similar projects in that they're both, they're knitting back and forth. But knitting back and forth in garter stitch, it's very different. Like the stitches, it's not as smooth because of how the stitch is like with the purl bumps, from garter. So it's just funny to me every time I work on it. But it is really a fun project, and I have this marker. I was like down here last time. I have this marker every day that I sit and work on it. I move the marker so that I can really see my progress. That really helps when you're working on boring stitch back and forth in a solid color. It's not boring. I love a good just plain knitted project. Sometimes you need that. So I think every stitch has its place, even if it's not your favorite to work. My least favorite stitch to work is ribbing. I love having long ribbing, but I don't like doing ribbing. But I do love a good garter stitch. I have like a pure garter stitch sweater, and I really, really want that. So another project. That is everything I have to talk about in this video. It's all my works in progress. I really want to cast on like some smaller works in progress, like hats and things. I have so many ideas, but just a lot of other stuff that has to get done first. I do really want to work on getting this pattern out. So again, if you are interested in testing anything at all, even if there's anything, not anything you see in the recent podcast episodes of anything you want to test, if you still want to be like have an ear out for things to test, sign up to that email list. I will be calling for testers for this sock in the near future, nearer than that coat, unfortunately. But yeah, I want to get this pattern out and put my focus on that before I start new designs and things. So that is everything for this episode. If you could take a comment down below something you were working on, I would love to hear about it, and I will see you in the next video. Happy crafting!